Which of the following numbers are less than minus 0.625? Okay, so I have decimal point, fraction, and another fraction, and another decimal number. Okay, so let me I want to convert everything to decimal numbers. Okay, let's see what is the quickest way to do it. So I have a number line. All the numbers are negative. So let's say there is no number that is greater than 2, and minus 8/5 is the greatest number on the left because it is greater than 1 on the number line, which is minus 1 and 3/5. So let's say that this is 1, this is minus 1 here. Let's say that this is minus 2. So point A minus 8/5 is minus 1. Let's say that this is minus 1/2. So minus 1 and 3/5 is a little less to the left because minus 1 and 3/5, it's a bit more than minus 1 and 5/5 to the left of it's less than minus 1.5. Okay, 1.5 because 3/5 is more than 2.5 over 5. If it was 2.5 over 5, it was exactly half. But since we are 3/5, it's more than 1/2. So it says that, it tells me that minus 1 and 3/5 somewhere here. So this is point A. Okay, minus 5/8. This is minus 1/2. So this is point C because minus 0.5. This is point C. 0 minus 0.5 is here. This is 0. So point C is here. And point B is a bit to the left is between point C and -1, be to the left, because 5/8 are more than 1/2, and it is on the negative, so -5/8 should be somewhere here. So this is point B. So point A is definitely less than -0.625. Point C is definitely not less than -0.625, because -0.625 is to the left of point C. So point C, which is -0.5, is greater than -0.625. So the only thing I need to compare is -0.625 to -5/8. -0.625. I need to compare it to -5/8. Let's see. 5 divided by 8. 8 doesn't go into 5, so it's 0 point something. So 0 times 8 is 0. Subtract. 5, bring down to 0. 8 goes into 50. 6 times. 6 times 8 is 48. Subtract. We have a remainder of 2. Bring down 0. 8 goes into 20. 2 times. 2 times 8 is 16. We have a remainder of 4. And 8 goes into 40 5 times. So 5 times 8 is 40, no remainder. So 5/8 are exactly 0.625, which means that point B is exactly the same. -5/8 are exactly the same as -0.625. So B is not less than -0.625. Only A is less than. Express 15.16 as a mixed number. Okay, so 15 is 15 and 16 over 100, because we have 16 hundredths. The 1 is in the tenth place and the 6 is in the hundredths place, so it's 16 hundredths, and we can simplify this. Let's say okay. If I divide it by 4, 16 divided by 4 is 4. 100 divided by 4 is 25, so it's 16. It's 15 and 4 over 25. That's the answer. 15 and 4 over 25. Ashley recently opened a store that uses only natural ingredients. She wants to advertise her products by distributing bags of samples in her neighborhood. It takes one person 2/3 of a minute to prepare a bag. So, minutes and bags. So one bag takes 2/3 of a minute. How many hours, so not minutes, how many hours will it take Ashley and 4 of her friends to prepare 1,575 bags of samples? Okay, so this table represents the amount of time it takes to prepare a bag for one person. Okay, we need to make 1,575 bags. 1,575. So we need to multiply 1 times 1,575 to go from 1 to this number. So we need to multiply 2/3 of a minute times 1,575 to know the number of minutes it takes to make this amount of bags. And then I can divide the outcome in minutes to 60 to convert it to hours. And then I will divide it by 5 because we have Ashley and 4 of her friends, so we have 5 persons making the bags. Okay, so it's a long road. So first, let's see how many minutes it takes to make 1,575 bags. So 2/3 of a minute times 1,575 divided by 1. Okay, 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 7 is 13, 13 plus 5 is 18. So this number is divisible by 3. So I can simplify this. 3 divided by 3 is 1, and 1,575 divided by 3 is 3 goes into 15 5 times. 5 times 3 is 15. No remainder. Bring down to 7. 3 goes into 7 2 times 3 is 6. 7 minus 6 is 1. Bring down 5. 3 goes into 15. 5 times 3 is 15. No remainder. So 1535 divided by 3 is 525. So 2 times 525, 2 times, so the denominator is 1 times 1 is 1. 2 times 525 is 1050 over 1, so it's 1050. Okay, so it takes 1050 minutes to make 1575 bags. Okay, so to know how many hours it takes to make this amount, so hours, I need to divide this number, which is in minutes, I need to divide it by 60. So 1050 divided by 60. Okay, 60 goes into 105 one time. 1 times 60 is 60. Subtract 45 left. 60 doesn't go into 45. Bring down 0. 60 goes into 450. 7 times 7 times 60 is 420, and 30 remainder. Okay, so 30 over 60, 30 over 60 is 1/2. Okay, 30 divided by 30 is 1, and 60 divided by 30 is 2. So the answer here is 70 and 1/2. So it takes 17, not 70, 17 and 1/2 hours to make 1575 bags, and we need to divide this number. So this number of hours is if we had 1 person making the bags, but since we have 5 persons, we have Ashley and 4 of her friends. So we have 5 persons. So we need to divide this by 5 to get the amount of hours that it takes 5 persons to make this amount of bags. Okay, so 17.5 divided by 5. 5 goes into 17 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. And a remainder of 2. 5 doesn't go into 2. Decimal point. Bring down to 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. I have no remainder. So the answer here is 3.5. So this is the amount of hours. So this is hours per 5 persons. Okay. So this is the answer. 3.5 hours, 3.5 hours. Good. After learning how to fly, Wendy reduced her daily commute time by 75%. Previously, her commute took m minutes. Okay, so this is what the original commute took minus 75% of m. Which of the following expressions could represent Wendy's commute time in minutes after she learned how to fly? Okay, so m minus 75% of m is what we are left with is, this is like 1 times m minus 75 hundredths times m, which is 1 is like 100 over 100 times m minus 75 hundredths, which is 25 hundredths times m. Okay, because 100 hundredths of something minus 75 hundredths of something leaves us with 25. So we have 25% left of the original commute time. Okay, so it's 25% of m, the original commute time, that is left. Okay, so A is incorrect because this does not represent Wendy's commute time after she learned to fly. After she learned to fly, this represents the commute time, which is 0.25. It should be the correct answer, not 0.75. So A is incorrect. B is incorrect because 3/4 are the same thing as 75 hundredths. Okay, to go from 4 to 100 we multiply by 25. To go from 3 to 75 we multiply by 25. So 3/4 are 75 hundredths, which is 75%. So B and A are essentially the same, and they are incorrect because Wendy's commute time after she learned to fly is not 3/4 of m, is 1/4 of m, 25% of m. C is incorrect because her time, commute time didn't increase, it has decreased. And here it says that her commute time is 175% of the original commute time, which is incorrect. Because 1.75 is like 175%, because 1 is 100% and 0.75 is 75%. So C is incorrect. D is good, because D is like 25% of the original commute time. 0.25 is 25%, and E is correct because 1/4 is the same thing as 25 hundredths, is the same thing as 25%. Okay, so D and E. Okay, let's see, minus 1.125 plus let's convert this fraction to hundredths. So 24 over 20 is the same thing as if we convert it to a fraction with 100 in the denominator. So to go from 20 to 100 we multiply it times 5, so 24 times 5 is 120. 5 times 20 is 100. 5 times 4, 20. So this is 120. So 120 over 100 is the same thing as 1.2. Okay? So this is the same thing as 24 over 20 is the same thing as 1.2. So the result is 1.125 plus 1.2. So 5, 2, 3, 1. 1.325. It's too. 2.3. Stuck. It's minus. Wow, I'm not concentrated. Wow, this is minus and this is it's negative and positive. How many mistakes can I make in such a simple question? Okay. So up to this point, I think it was good. Now, okay, I need to add a negative and a positive. So the result will be positive because 1.2 is greater than minus 1.125. And the answer is the distance or the difference between these two numbers. So I need to find out how much is 1.2 minus 1.125. Okay. So So 2 becomes 1, and 0 becomes 10, and then the 10 becomes 9, and this 0 becomes 10. So 10 minus 5 is 5, 9 minus 2 is 7, 1 minus 1 is 0, decimal point, 1 minus 1 is 0. So the answer is 0.075. Move on, and I will have to take this test again since I made a mistake. So this will be in the next video. In the meantime, I need to continue and finish this test. Camacho is buying a monster truck. The price of the truck is X dollars, and he also has to pay 13% monster truck tax. So he needs to pay X plus 13% of X, which is the same thing as 1 times X plus 0.13 times X, which is 1.13 times X. Okay, and another way to express it is 1/1300 of X. So this is which of the following expressions could represent how much Camacho pays in total for the truck. So the X is the amount of dollars that he needs to pay for the truck itself, and another 1300 or 0.13 or 13% for the truck tax. Okay, so 1 plus 0.13 is 1.13 times X, so A is good. Okay. 1300 is only the tax, it doesn't include the price of the truck itself, so B is not good. 13x is not correct because we don't multiply the price of the truck times 13. We multiply the price of the truck times 1.13. So C is incorrect. Okay, D is good. Okay, because 1.13 1 represents 100% of the price of the original price, and 0.13 is 13%, which is the tax. So 1.13 times the price of the truck, so it's good. And E cannot be correct. Okay, yeah, because this is 14x. 13x plus x is 14x, which is incorrect. Okay, so A and D. Which decimal is equivalent to 1/3? Okay, so if we divide 1 divided by 3, 3 doesn't go into 1, so 0, and then put a decimal point here and throw some zeros. So 0 times 3 is 0. I subtract. 1 minus 0 is 1. I bring down 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. I subtract 1 remainder. I bring down 0. 3 goes into 10 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. Subtract 1, bring down to 0, and it goes on like this forever. 3 times 3 is 9. Okay, so it repeats after the first decimal point to the right is already repeated, so the dash above the 3 remains. It means that we repeat this number indefinitely, so B is the correct answer. Ashley recently opened a store that uses only natural ingredients. She wants to advertise her products by distributing bags of samples in her neighborhood. It takes one person 2/3 of a minute to prepare a bag. How many hours will it take Ashley and 4 of her friends to prepare 1,575 bags of samples? So I've already answered this question in a previous practice, but let's do it again. So we have minutes, and we have bags, and it takes one person 2/3 of a minute to make one bag. It takes one person 2/3 of a minute to prepare one bag. Okay, so we need to make a total of 1,575 bags. So to go from 1 to 1,575 bags, we need to multiply 1 times 1,575 bags. So to know how many minutes we need to make this amount of bags, we need also to multiply 2/3 of a minute times 1,575. So 2/3 times 1,575 over 1 is. And if the digits of a number, when we add them together, is divisible by 3, it means that the number is divisible by 3. 1 plus 5 is 6, 6 plus 7 is 13, 13 plus 5 is 18, 18 is divisible by 3, so it means that this number here is divisible by 3, which means that I can simplify this problem. So 1,575 divided by 3, 3 goes into 15 5 times, 5 times 3 is 15, no remainder, bring down to 7, 3 goes into 7 2 times, 2 times 3 is 6, 7 minus 6 is 1, I bring down to 5, 3 goes into 15 5 times, 5 times 3 is 15, no remainder, so the answer is 525. So this is 525. 1,575 divided by 3 is 525, and 3 divided by 3 is 1. So in the denominator I have 1, 1 times 1 is 1, and in the numerator I have 2 times 525, which is 1,050. Which means that the answer here is 1,050, and this is 2/3 times 1,575, which means that in minutes it will take one person, if he wants to make 1,575 bags, it will take him 1,050 minutes. And if I want to convert this to hours, so I need to divide this number by 60, because there are 60 minutes in 1 hour. So I need to know how many hours it will take one person to make this amount of bags. I need to divide the number of minutes it takes one person by 60. So 1,050 divided by 60 is 60 goes into 105 1 times 60 is 60, subtract and 45 left, bring down 0, 60 goes into 450 7 times, 7 times 60 is 420, and the remainder of 30 over 60. 30, this is the remainder, divided by 60 is the same thing as 1 over 2, because 30 divided by 30 is 1, and 60 divided by 30 is 2. So I have an answer here of 17 and 1/2. So it means that for one person to make this amount of bags, it takes 17 hours and 1/2. And now I need to divide this number by 5, because we have 5 persons. We have Ashley and 4 of her friends making this amount of bags. So I need to divide 17.5 divided by 5. 5 goes into 17 3 times. 3 times 5 is 15. Subtract, I have 2 remainder. 5 doesn't go into 2. So I put the decimal point here. Bring down 5. 5 goes into 25 5 times. 5 times 5 is 25. And I have no remainder. So for one person, it takes 17 and a half hours to make this amount of bags. And for 5 persons, this is the final answer, it takes 3.5 hours. Match the numbers with the correct label. Okay. Okay, so 1/4 compared to 1/5. So all 3 points A, B, and C are positive because they are to the right of the 0. And first let's compare 1/4 to 1/5. 1/4. Let's convert them both to a fraction with common denominator. So 4 and 5, I need to convert them to something over 20. So to go from 1/4 to a fraction with 20 in its denominator, I need to multiply times 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. 1 times 5 is 5. And if I convert 1/5 to a fraction with 20 in the denominator, I multiply by 4. So 1 times 4 is 4. So 1/4 is greater than 1/5. So A is greater than 1/5. And I could have figured this one out, because the greater the number in the denominator, the less we have. Okay, because we divide 1. If we divide 1 to 4 parts, and the same one we divide it to 5 parts, so obviously the part that we get when we divide 1 by 5 is less than when we divide it by 4. So obviously 1/4 is greater than 1/5. Okay. Okay, now which is greater, 1/5 compared to 2/9. Okay, so 5 and 9. Okay, so 1/5. I need to convert it to a fraction with 45 in its denominator. So 5 times 9, and 1 times 9 is 2. And now I convert 2/9 to a fraction with a 45 in the denominator. So to go from 9 to 45, I multiply by 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So 2/9 2/9 is also greater than 1/5. Okay, and C. So it doesn't help me, because if I have 2 points that are greater than 1/5, so I need to draw a number. So this is 0, and I need to convert them all to a fraction in the same denominator. So the only problem I have is with 2/9, because 4, okay. Okay, so 0.17 is 1700. Okay, 1/4 is 2500. Okay, to go from 4 to 100, we multiply by 25. To go from 1, we also multiply by 25. And 1/5 is 20 hundredths. So the only problem now is how much 2/9 are in hundreds. 9. We go to a fraction with 100 in the denominator, so I need to divide 100 divided by 9 to know 100 divided by 9 goes into 10 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. I have 1 there. So that's not correct. No. Bring it down to 0. 11. Oh. 1. So this repeats 11. This is 11.111. Okay. So 2 nines is 11.11. Indefinitely. So point C is here. This is 17 hundredths. So the list is point C. So, sorry, the list is 0.17. So A is 0.17, right? Then I have, no, sorry. A is 2 nines because this is the list number 11.11. Well, so 2 nines A. Then I have 1/5. 1/5 is 20 hundredths. So A is 11.11 hundredths. 1/5 is 20 hundredths. Here. 1/4 is 25 hundredths. Wow. Something is wrong here. One fifth is 20 hundredths. Okay, let me open a new page. So I need to convert, I have three numbers and it's 1/5 in the middle. I need to convert them all to a fraction with the same denominator. So 1/5 is 20 hundredths. Because to go from 5 to 100, we multiply 5 times 20. So 1/5 is the same thing as 20 hundredths. Now, 1/4, which is the number here, 1/4 in terms of 100, I need to multiply 4 times 25 to go from 4 to 100, so I need to multiply 1 times 25. So 1/4 is greater than 1/5. Now 2 nines, if I convert it to a fraction with 100 as the denominator, I need to multiply 9 times something to go from 9 to 100. So to know the number in which I need to multiply, I divide 100 divided by 9. 9 goes into 10. Oh. It's not 11, it's 1.11. Okay, 1 times 9 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. No, it's 11. Bring down to 0. 9 goes into 10 one time. 1 times 9 is 9. 10 minus 9 is 1. 9 doesn't go into 1, so the decimal point. Bring it down to 0. 9 goes into 10. 1 times 9 is 9, and etc., etc., etc. So this means the 2 9ths is 11.1 repeated over 100. And 0.17 is 17 hundredths. So this number here is greater than 1/5. So what I have, 2 9ths are less than 1/5. Sorry. I need to multiply 9 times 11 point. Okay, my mistake. 11 times 11. So 2 times 11.11 is 22 times 22 repeated. Okay. So 2 9ths are a bit less than 1/4. So 1/4 and 2 9ths are greater than 1/5. But 1/4 is greater than 2 9ths. So 1/4 is C. This is 1/4. And B is 2 9ths. And C is the only number that is less than 1/5. So not C, I mean 0.17 is the only number that is less than 1/5, so this should be A. So 0.17 is A, B is 2/9, and C is 1/4. Okay. So thank you for watching this torture, and in the next video I will take this test again because I have one mistake and I want to get a result of 100% before I move on. So I will see you in the next video.